So today we need to talk about Oklahoma's insane offseason because we now have information that five-star offensive lineman Devon Campbell and five-star defensive lineman Omari Abor will be making their way to campus this summer, and we have got to break it down, as well as new information on Malachi Nelson that is similar to what we talked about last time, but we do need to briefly break it down. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe that Lincoln Riley and company will be successful in their pitches and trying to get kids from the state of Texas this year? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, that way you don't miss any of my uploads, because I do constant college football content, and if you enjoy that content, be sure to like, comment down below. Those interactions are massive. But with all that being said, we'll kick this off with Malachi Nelson because this is going to be very brief. And if you're listening to what Malachi Nelson is saying, he is very high on OU, and in recent articles that have come out since the last time we talked about Malachi Nelson, he's been talking about OU more and more and more. And if we look at it, right now the only two challengers are USC and Clemson. USC's a long shot. For them to be able to repair the relationship would be a tall order right now, and Clemson is probably the biggest competition to OU. However, we don't even know if he's going to be taking the visit to Clemson, and he has to take the visit to Clemson to get the Clemson offer. So if he doesn't take the visit to Clemson, it's a moot point altogether, not even worth talking about. Malachi Nelson seems very, very likely like he will be going to OU. He's very high on OU, and he commented that this is where top quarterbacks go and they get developed, right? Like, there's a lot of places in the nation where you can go if you're a top quarterback and you're going to be just fine. But then there's OU, and OU just does something special with quarterbacks, and we can't deny it, right? They're quarterback U. They've earned that moniker, and they continue to prove it. And it's very hard to go wrong with OU and Lincoln Riley if you are a top-level quarterback. Malachi Nelson understands this. Looks like he's going to be a Sooner. But if we look at the class of 2022, and we look at a Devon Campbell and Omari Abor, let's stick on the offensive side of the ball right now with a Devon Campbell, because you know a Malachi Nelson would be ecstatic if Oklahoma could swing Devon Campbell in this class. Devon Campbell being one of the most sought-after recruits in all of the nation, the five-star offensive lineman from the state of Texas. Now, this would be incredibly sweet to land Devon Campbell for a few reasons. The obvious being, anytime you can land a kid out of your rival state, that's awesome. Anytime you can land a kid out your rival state that your rival is pulling out all the stops for, even better. Anytime you can fuse 1 and 2, and on top of that, the kid's a five-star, well, you just hit the trifecta. And Oklahoma is going to be looking to hit the trifecta when it comes to Devon Campbell. Devon Campbell right now has a crystal ball issued for the University of Texas. Texas is pulling out all the stops, and new offensive line coach Kyle Flood has a history of being an elite recruiter. He put together a phenomenal class while he was at the University of Alabama, if we look at the class he was able to put together, in the sense that he had two top 5 players in the nation out of last year that were both offensive tackles. And then when you look at outside of that, he pulled the number 2 guard in the nation and then the number 1 center in the nation. Kyle Flood can recruit. But Bill Bedenbaugh is one of the top offensive line coaches in the nation, and when we're talking about offensive linemen and we insert Bill Bedenbaugh into the equation, automatically OU has as good a shot as anybody in the nation. Truly, he is that good of an offensive line coach, and he has that cachet to his name. That being said, this is going to be an uphill battle, but make no mistake, Oklahoma has just as good a shot as anybody at landing the five-star offensive lineman, and when you have the offensive talent and Bill Bedenbaugh, man, that pitch is hard to ignore. This is going to be really fun to watch how this plays out, but if you're a Sooners fan, you love getting Devon Campbell on campus because you would love nothing more than to be able to land Devon Campbell. The other kid out the state of Texas we have got to talk about is Omari Abor, the five-star defensive lineman from Duncanville. Now, he will be making his way to Oklahoma, and this is a kid they would love to get, but this is going to be another tough battle. Ohio State, Alabama, all after the likes of Abor, all pitching with everything they have. However, if you're Oklahoma, you do like your chances, and let's kind of unpack why. Because Alex Grinch and the evolution of this defensive front, because if you can have multiple guys pop off on this defensive front, sure, Alabama still has the pitch of where Alabama, look at our results in the draft. Ohio State still has Larry Johnson, but now if you're OU, you can say, okay, well now we've proven the results, right? You've had multiple years of our defense getting better. Now you've seen the results result because these guys that are draft eligible this year had another good season, increasing their draft capital. You can see us trending up, and you've been a fan of the program. Now, make no mistake, a lot has to happen for this to come to fruition. You have to show the results. But we've talked about this before. If that's the metric, I'm very comfortable with that metric if I'm an OU fan. At the end of the day, you love being able to get 5-star talent from the state of Texas to be able to come into Norman and seriously look at it. Devon Campbell coming in June 25th. Omari Abor coming in June 19th, I'm sorry. Both dates we're going to have to watch because if OU can swing one of these guys, they're going to be ecstatic. If they can swing both of them, it's going to be nuts in Norman. I can't wait to hear from y'all. Hop down below. Let me know which recruits you're most excited about seeing in Norman this summer. That's it. See ya.